गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। I was concentrating on your recitation. Okay, dear friends, we have now come to the end of the commentary on the first Anuvaka in Brahmanandavalli. The first Anuvaka relating to Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. In fact, we spent about 10 days on this thing. Today is the 11th class? 12th class. So today we will complete this and then move on to the second Anuvaka. So in the last class we were reading this line, Sahi Purushaha Iha Vidyaya Antaratamam Brahma Sankramayitum Ishtaha Tasya cha Bhahyakara Vishesheshu Anatmasu Atmabhavita Buddhihi Analambya Vishesham Kanchit Sahasa Antaratama Pratyagatma Vishaya Niralambanacha Kartum Ashakya Iti. So up to that point we read. So the point here is the Srushti, the so-called creation has been told. And in the last class I was telling you that whenever say Srushti is told in the Shrutis, the Advaitin's concept of Shruti, the Srushti is that Srushti is something which is an appearance in the Brahman. The biggest question before an Advaiti is to explain Srushti. Because everybody else, every other school of philosophy, it agrees or it accepts the reality of the world. It is only the Advaitin who says that the world is seen, it is a phenomena, it appears, but it is an appearance in that supreme reality which is called Brahman. It is nothing but consciousness which is appearing as this whole universe. This is what Advaita says. So this is the contention between the Advaitin and also the all other schools. So here when we say Akasha Sambhutaha, Sambhuta has to be taken as Akasha is manifesting. It is a phenomena, it is an appearance in that thing. So now we have come to a stage where the body, the human being is there. We have come up to that point, Purusha eva adhikrutaha. In the last class we read why when there are so many beings, why Purusha alone is taken, because karma jnana adhikaraha is there only with this Purusha, that is a human being. We read all that. So this Purusha is there with this physical body. So with this physical body, he is trying to know. He is trying to know his ancestors, as we can in a rather say figurative sense. So what did this Shruti say? The Shruti said there is this Atma initially. Atma means that consciousness. In that consciousness there is Akasha, from that Vayu, from there Agni, from there Apaha, from that Pruthivi, and then in that sequence all that thing has come. That is from something which is subtle. Sukshma, as we say, from something which is subtle, this gradually the more and more gross form has come into existence. The grossest form is the body of any animal, the body of the human being, the physical body is the gross form. So he has come to this gross form and he is identifying himself with that gross form. Who are you? I am this. So say so many feet tall, and then weighing so many kilos, and then this is what I am, and then my face is like this, and then I belong to this class, category, etc., etc. We identify ourselves with the body. So from here, somebody he tries to know what exactly is my real self. So such a person, Iha vidyaya antaratamam brahma sankramayitum ishtaha. Vidyaya means by this knowledge of Brahman, Brahma vidyaya. So antaratamam brahma, that the innermost self, he wants to slowly creep towards that. He wants to slowly move towards that. Sankramayitum, take steps towards it. Sankramayitum, I explained this word yesterday. Sankramayitum ishtaha, he wants it. But then tasyacha bahyakara vishesheshu anatmasu. So in all these external forms only, he has got this atma bhavita buddhi. Atma bhavita buddhi means the notion of I. The notion of I is fixed in all external things only. In all external things only, this is me, this is mine, this is my wife, this is my property, this is my children, etc., etc. All this atma bhavita buddhi, this notion of I, in all these things it exists. And all these things are what? What are they? They are anatmasu, bahya akara vishesheshu anatmasu. They are not the real self. Anatma means not the real self. Atma means the self. Anatma means not the real self. In all these things which are not the real self of this person, he is having this notion of I, notion of self. So for that man, analambya vishesham kanchit sahasa antaratama pratyagatma vishaya niralambana cha kartum ashakya iti. So the Shruti is realizing that for this chap, if he wants to go deep into that cave where that Brahma is supposed to be there, if he wants to go deep into that cave, he can't sahasa means straight away he can't jump into it. He has to slowly take some support and slowly go step by step, climb down or up, as ever, whatever you imagine, whatever you visualize. There is that buddhi guha, that cave called intellect is there. In that cave, this reflection of Brahman is there. So if you want to go to that cave, you have to naturally leave your say external layers. All these external layers you have to leave. External layers means how of course the text is going to say what are those layers and all that. That is Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, we have been talking about them. That is, the gross body is the first layer. Then the energy body, the prana, Pranamaya Kosha is the second layer. Layer means the first level of identification is with the body. And suppose somebody thinks about it for some time and then realizes what is the use of the body if pranam is not there. Then he identifies with the Pranamaya Kosha. Okay, pranam also is there, but if mind is not there, what is the use? So Manomaya Kosha, he thinks that, oh, mind is more important. Then again, even if mind is there, but if the notion of I is not there, then what is the use? He will be moving like a madcap. So that notion of I also is there, that is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Then again it goes to Anandamaya Kosha. When he goes to sleep, he is fully in happiness. He is in that state of happiness, that Sushupti, that is supposed to be the Karana Sharira. So he merges with his Ananda is equal to the Brahmananda. So temporarily he is in that particular stage. So that is the Anandamaya Kosha, but then he comes back into that. He comes back into the normal life. So that again is only in a limited sense, that is the self, but not the real self. So he has to go through or go beyond all these layers and discard one layer after the other. So that is what we are going to see. So while telling about Srushti, they talked in the sequence of the subtle to the gross. Initially they started with the subtle thing, more grosser, grossest. So it came in that fashion. Now while going back, from gross to subtle we have to climb back. From gross to subtle. So we have to leave the gross body first. So of course that's what we are going to see. So before that he is saying Analambya Vishesham Kanchit, without having the support of something. Analambya Vishesham Kanchit means without having the support of something. Sahasa Antaratama Pratyagatma Vishaya. Sahasa, straight away, he can't go into that Pratyagatma. He can't go to the level of that innermost self. Niralambanacha Kartum Ashakya. It is not possible to do that. Then from here I think we have to read. Drushta Shariratma Samanya Kalpanaya.
Drushta Shariratma Samanya Kalpanaya.
Shakha Chandra Nidarsanavat. Antah Praveshayan Aha. Tasyedameva Shiraha. So we have to give some known example. Drushta Shariratma Samanya Kalpanaya. Shariratma Samanya. That is Shariratma means this body itself taken as I. Shariratma means the body itself taken as the self. Shariratma. That is what is seen. Drushta, Shariratma, Samanya. It is so generally known, it is generally seen as that the body is taken as the self. So this is from known we have to move towards the unknown, isn't it? So this is a drushta thing. Drushta means something which is known, something which is seen. So Samanya Kalpanaya, by visualizing or by giving such an example, by visualizing that, then Shakha Chandra Nidarsanavat. We know this Shakha Chandra Nyayam. Shakha Chandra Nyaya means, suppose immediately after the new moon day, new moon is Amavasya. After the new moon day, the next day, next Padhyami or Vidya, the first day or second day, in the bright fortnight, so first day or second day in the bright fortnight, moon will be there somewhere lurking in the sky. Some small crescent will be there. This is what we see during Ramzan also. During Ramzan, all those clerics, Muslim clerics, they will be trying to see whether we can see the moon. So once they sight the moon, then they will say, yes, moon is sighted, now you celebrate. So like that, Shakha Chandra, it takes some time because they have to know the general location where the moon has to be seen, and then they have to closely watch. So Shakha Chandra Nyaya means straight away you can't see the moon. So you just take the, suppose, why this Shakha Chandra has come into say usage is, in olden days wherever you went there were trees. So we have to visualize a place where there are lot many trees. So the teacher is telling the student or somebody, the elder is telling the boy, you see, look at that tree. So the boy is looking all around, where is the sun? So he says, no, you don't look all around, you see that particular tree. That particular tree, you see that particular branch. So it is easy for him to see that particular branch. You see over that branch, you see a small thing. So he concentrates on all that. First of all, he leaves all the surroundings. Then he concentrates on the tree. And then he leaves that tree also, and then he looks at the Shakha. Shakha means that branch. And then again he leaves that branch also and then identifies the moon, that crescent moon. So that is what is called Shakha Chandra Nyaya. That is that Vidya Chandra, that is the second day of the bright fortnight, when the moon is very, very light. So you have to locate the moon. So like that, in the same manner, you have to remove all these, you have to exclude all these gross things, and then you have to move towards that. So that is the point. Shakha Chandra Nidarsanavat Antah Praveshayan, making him enter. Praveshayan means to make somebody enter. Praveshayati. Pravishati is different, Praveshayati is different. Pravishati means one who enters. He enters. Praveshayati means he makes somebody enter. So Antah Praveshayan, enabling this seeker to enter, enabling the seeker to get into that. Tasya idameva shiraha. This is the body, this is the head. Tasya, of that of that Purusha, Drushta Shariratma. We are talking about the Shariratma. Of this is the head. So we are now talking about the human being only. We are now talking about the human being, but visualized in the form of course we are talking about a bird and all that. So you can take, we are talking about the tail of a bird, Pucham Pratishtha. So maybe the reason is, as one Swamiji said, Akhandananda Saraswati, he says that this Upanishad itself is Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad, initially I told you the story of this Taittiriya Upanishad. The Tittiri birds, they ate whatever was vomited by that say Rishi, and then these in that Tittiri birds, they are not birds, these Munis only, the students only, they took the form of Tittiri Pakshi and then they swallowed it and then they recited this whole Veda, Upanishad. So that is what we saw. So Tittiri means a bird, it's a bird. So maybe from that point of view, this Kalpana is made as a bird. So that is one guess which is given by one Swamiji called Akhandananda Saraswati. But of course Shankara Bhashyam or Anandagiri Tika or Vanamala, there is no mention as to why this Pucham etc., this bird formation is the figure. You see, I am Uttara Pakshaha, I am Dakshina Pakshaha. Paksha actually means, what does it mean? Paksha means a wing. Paksha is a wing, a bird, that is why it is called a Pakshi. Pakshi, Paksham is there, so that is why it is called Pakshi. So anyway, let us read this. तस्य अस्य पुरुषस्य अन्नरसमयस्य
तस्य अस्य पुरुषस्य अन्नरसमयस्य
इदमेव शिरः प्रसिद्धम्.
इदमेव शिरः प्रसिद्धम्.
So of this Purusha, of this being, and what is he? Annarasamayah. He is only made of this annarasam. He is only made of the essence of the annarasa, essence of annam. Annam means the food. And we are going to see the definition of annam also. What is the definition of food we are going to see. So this body which is made of food, for this body, idameva shiraha, that is prasiddham, that is whatever is well known as the head. This is the head. We are now visualizing the human being who has to go beyond, leave one layer after the other and go into the innermost self. So the first layer which he has to abandon is his body. So we are now looking at his body. So for his body, naturally the head which is very well known, that is the shiraha. Then the right hand is the uttarah pakshaha, left hand is the dakshinah pakshaha. That's what he is going to say. Right hand is the dakshinah pakshaha, the left hand is the uttarah pakshaha. So that's what he is going to say. Let us see. Shiraha prasiddham. Okay. Pranamayadishu ashirasam.
Pranamayadishu ashirasam.
Shirastva darshanat.
Shirastva darshanat.
Ihapi tat prasango mabhuditi.
Ihapi tat prasango mabhuditi.
Idameva shira ityuchyate.
Idameva shira ityuchyate.
So now he is referring to the subsequent koshas. So we are now talking about the Annamaya Kosha. We are now we will see Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, etc., etc. So in this Annamaya Kosha, okay, you have said this is the head. This head is very much there, right hand is very much there, left hand is very much there, this lower portion is very much there. But what about the Pranamaya Kosha? Pranamaya Kosha is only a figurative body. Only figuratively you are calling it a Kosha. So figuratively you are saying, this is the head, this is the right hand, this is the left hand, etc. So which means, with reference to that Pranamaya Kosha, whatever is most important, you are calling it the head. So in that sense, figuratively they are going to say, whatever is most important in the case of Manomaya Kosha, he is going to say. For example, in Pranamaya Kosha, Tasya Pranaye Eva Shiraha, we are going to see. That is Prana. We are having this Prana and then 5 airs and all that. So in that prana vayu is the shiraha. Then when you come to Manomaya Kosha, tasya yajureva shiraha. This Yajurveda is like the head. Yajurveda occupies an important place in the case of the mental sharira. That is the Manomaya Kosha. In that Manomaya Kosha, say in that intellect body, let us say, in that intellect body, say this Yajurveda forms an important part. So that is why it is called Tasya Yajureva Shiraha, it is said. So like that, in every other kosha, something whatever is prominent in that particular kosha is shown as the head there. So here what he says is, Pranamayadishu Ashirasam. In all these Pranamaya, etc., Ashirasam means which do not have any head. Shirasam, Ashirasam, which do not have any head. Shirastva darshanat. The Shirastva darshana means this one Shiras, something is designated as Shiras. So because of that, here also, Ihapi tat prasango mabhut. Here again one should not question why this head is being shown here. Why there is no head in Pranamaya Kosha, there is no head in Manomaya Kosha, but why head is being shown here? So in order to avoid all that, so here again, Tasya idameva shiraha has been mentioned here. Tat prasango mabhutiti idameva shira ityuchyate. This is the head. So it is mentioned here. Evam pakshadishu yojana.
Evam pakshadishu yojana.
Evam means in the same manner. Pakshadishu. Pakshadishu means this right wing, left wing, in all these wings. Yojana means you have to apply like that. You have to apply the same in other koshas also. Then ayam dakshino bahuhu purvabhimukasya dakshinah pakshaha. So we are visualizing a person who is standing facing the sun. Purvabhimukaha. Purva means Purva is Turpu, that is east. So this man is facing the east. When you are facing the east, then what is your right? Dakshina. Turpu, Agneyam, Dakshina. So that is Dakshina. So Ayam Dakshina Paksha, Ayam Dakshino Bahuhu, this right hand, Dakshina Bahu. Dakshina, we also use the word Dakshina Bahu, Vama Bahu we say. So Dakshina Bahu, Purvabhimukhasya Purushasya we have to understand. For a person who is standing facing east, so this Dakshina Paksha, this is like the right wing. Not the right wing or left wing in politics, but the right wing of a bird. So Dakshina Paksha. Ayam Savyo Bahu Uttara Paksha. Let us read. Ayam
Savyo Bahu Uttara Paksha.
Savyo Bahu. Savya means left. Savya, normally we misunderstand it as right. Savyam during some ceremonies also. Yeah, Purohit also says, Savyam Jeskondi. Savya, we think that it is right. Savyam is not right. Savya is actually left. Yeah, Savya Sachi, what you said is also right. Savya Sachi means one who can shoot arrows with his left hand also. Ordinarily, people are dexterous. Dexterous means right-handed. Dakshina, this word Dakshina is again cognate with that English word dexterous. There is a word called dexterous in English. So Dakshina is close to dexterous. So the Savya Sachi is that Arjuna who is capable of shooting arrows with his left hand also. So that is a different thing. So Ayam Savyo Bahuhu, this left hand is Uttara Paksha. When you are facing the sun, this is Dakshinam, this is Uttaram, isn't it? So Uttara Paksha. Then Ayam Madhyamo Deha Bhagaha.
Ayam Madhyamo Deha Bhagaha.
Atma Anganam.
Atma Anganam.
Madhyam Hyesham Anganam Atma iti Shrutehe.
Madhyam Hyesham Anganam Atma iti Shrutehe.
Okay. Ayam Madhyamo Deha Bhagaha. This middle portion of the body, Madhyamo Deha Bhagaha, this middle portion of the body, this trunk, let us say. This whole trunk is Atma Anganam. For all these limbs, this is something like the self. For all the physical limbs, this is something like the self. We are only talking about the gross body. So for this in this gross body, which is the most important thing, the head is the important thing. So the right wing and left wing, this thing is something called the self. Then whatever is the lower portion, it is something like the tail. So Madhyam Hyesham Anganam Atma iti Shrutehe. There is also one statement of the Shruti saying that this Madhyam, this trunk portion, is Esham Anganam, of all these limbs, this is the self. Because if this trunk is not there, these limbs they fall apart. The limbs fall apart if the trunk is not there. So iti Shrutehe. Then Idamiti Nabhe Radhastad Yadangam.
Nabhe Radhastadi Angam.
Adhastad Yadangam.
Adhastad Yadangam.
What does your book say? Adhastad Yadangam.
Nabhe Radhastad Yadangam.
Yad Angam Tat Pucham Pratishtha.
Tat Pucham Pratishtha.
Pratitishtatyanaya iti Pratishtha.
Puchamiva Pucham Adho. That is not.
Adho?
Puchamiva Pucham Adho Lambana Samanyat.
Adho, yeah, that also is there. I am coming to that. Okay. So this Pratitishtatyanaya iti Pratishtha, is it missing? No, it doesn't matter. You can say Pratitishtatyanaya iti Pratishtha.
Pratitishtatyanaya iti Pratishtha.
Pratitishthati, you know the word. Ayush Yevendriye Pratitishthati means stays established happily. So that is it. Pratitishtatyanaya iti Pratishtha. Puchamiva Pucham.
Puchamiva Pucham.
Adholambana Samarthyad.
Adholambana Samanyat.
Sorry, Samanyat. Yatha Goh Pucham.
Yatha Goh Pucham.
Adholambana Samanyat Yatha Goh Pucham. Okay. Idam iti idam. So we are physically designating. Ayam eva shiraha. Ayam Dakshina Paksha. Ayam Dakshina Uttara Paksha. Idam Pucham. Idam Pucham means this is the Pucham. What is that? This the lower portion of the Nabhe Adhastat. Idamiti Nabhe Adhastat. Nabhe means the navel. Below the navel, the whole portion is called Pucham. Pucham means the tail. So Pucham, in fact, this is actually all these words, they fit into the description of a bird. So Idamiti Nabhe Adhastat Yad Angam, that limb which is there below the navel, the portion which is there below the navel, Tat Pucham Pratishtha, that is the base. You imagine a person who is having only one leg, he will be tottering, there is no balance. So when both hands and both legs are there, standing properly, then that is the base. Pratisthati anaya iti pratishtha. So that's what he says. Pratisthati anaya. By this, he stands established. So that is what is called pratisthati is pratishtha. Pratishtha, the meaning of pratishtha is that by which a person stays in a stable manner. So that is what is called pratishtha. So somebody, we say, we use the word pratishtha. So he is a man with a great pratishtha. That means he is a very well established person. Shtha and established, all are similar words. So he is very well established with this pucham. Otherwise, without this pucham, he can't stay established. Even for a flying bird, pucham is a very important thing. Even for an aeroplane, pucham, the tail is very important thing. So that pucham is very useful for, is the most essential for changing the directions. So that is the greatest use for the bird, for changing the directions and all that. So puchamiva pucham, as though it is a tail. Adho lambana samanyat, the commonality. Samanyam means the commonality. What is the commonality? What is the commonness between these two? Adho lambana samanyat, because it is hanging down. Adho lambana. Lambana means hanging down. Adho lambana samanyat. Yatha goh pucham. It is something like goh pucham, something like the tail of a cow. So, goh pucham. Then, yetat prakrutya. Uttaresham pranamayadinam. Rupakatva siddhihi. Starting with this, yetat prakrutya means, if we start in this fashion, if we explain in this fashion, then itaresham pranamayadinam, for all other koshas like this pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha also, rupakatva siddhihi. Rupakatva siddhi means we can visualize a proper shape. Otherwise, this is basically to facilitate a visualization of a particular rupa, particular form. You see, Annamaya kosha, it is very easy to describe. Pranamaya kosha, how are you going to describe? So you have to figuratively say, this is the head, this is the right hand, this is the left hand. So Manomaya kosha, similarly you have to say, this is the important, this is like the right hand, this is like the left hand, this is like the body, this is like the tail. So all these things. So again, Musha Nishikta Drutatamradi Pratimavat. Pratima means an idol. Pratima is an idol. Musha Nishikta. Musha means a crucible. Musha, actually in Telugu also we use the word Mosa. Mosalo Bosaru we say. Mosa. Mosa. Have you not heard the word Mosa? Mosa. Okay, it's a very common word, Mosa. If you go to a goldsmith, say in olden days they used to use a Mosa, a crucible. In laboratories also you find this small say instrument called the crucible, a small apparatus. Then Musha here is a mold. So how do they make say for example they have to make some copper vessel. How do they make a copper vessel? In olden days, not now. There is a musha, there is a mold. In that mold, they pour the molten copper. The molten copper is poured into that mold and then it is allowed to cool down. So once it is allowed to cool down, the mold is removed and then you get the copper vessel. So it is something, the same thing here. Musha Nishikta. Nishikta means something which is poured into that. Musha Nishikta. Druta Tamra Divat. Druta Tamra means liquid copper. Tamra means, you know the word Tamram. Tamra means copper. Druta Tamra means something which is flowing. Druta Tamra, that is liquefied copper. This liquefied copper, Musha Nishiktam, means poured into that Musha, poured into that mold. So like that, you are visualizing a particular form. So how do you get the form for all these pratimas, for all these idols? So if you want to make an idol, you have to prepare a mold first, and into that mold you have to pour the liquefied metal, whatever is the metal. Here he is using the word tamra, liquefied tamra. Then, so like that, we are visualizing some form for other say koshas also. That is what he says. Then tadapyesha shloko bhavati. So tadapyesha shloko bhavati is in the text, isn't it? So for that, tad api yesha shloko bhavati. Tat means tasminnevārthe brahmanokte annamayatma prakashakaha
अन्नमयात्मक प्रकाशकः
एष श्लोको मंत्रो भवति.
एष श्लोको मंत्रो भवति.
Okay, tadapyesha shloka. Tat means for that purpose. Tasmin eva arthe. In that say sense or for that purpose, Brahmanokte, as said in that Brahmana Vakyam, say the first Brahmana Vakyam. What is that Brahmana Vakyam? Tadesha Bhyukta. So that is that Brahmana Vakyam. Then in that Annamaya Atma Prakashakaha. So the shloka which is going to illustrate this Annamaya Kosha is being presented. So that is the overall meaning. This shloka or mantra, Esha Shlokaha, this particular shloka, that is what is called mantra, which is going to tell us about this Annamaya Kosha, that is being presented. The Annamaya Kosha, Esha Shloko Bhavati. So it occurs. Actually Bhavati is, this particular shloka is appearing in the text. So that is what it means. So we have now come to the end of this first Anuvaka. So this first Anuvaka has told us, it made a statement. It started with a statement saying that Brahmavit, the person who knows Brahman becomes Brahman, attains the Supreme. And then the text said what is the Brahman, that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Then it also said where exactly Brahma has to be found, that is Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, in that Parama Vyoma, in that Supreme Guha, in that Supreme Space. What is that Supreme Space? That is what is called Buddhi Guha, the intellect which is compared to a cave. Then it said like that. Then again it again talked about how the human being has come into existence, in what process, from subtle to gross. Tasmadva tasmadatmana, from subtle to gross, how this fellow has come into existence. And now we have to see how we have to get back. So what Advaita Vedanta says is, this whole description of Srishti is not to tell you about how the Srishti has taken place. It may be incidental. We are not totally rejecting it. Whereas for all other schools, this particular portion is meant to show the Srishti. Whereas an Advaitin says, okay, Srishti description is only incidental. This is meant to show that there is nothing apart from Atma. There is nothing apart from Brahma. Because Brahman or Atma is the Karanam for all these things. So from that point of view, this apart from Karanam is the same as Karyam. Or rather Karyam, it inherits all the gunas, all the properties of the Karanam. So in that manner, whatever we see, what all we see around us is nothing but that Brahma. So this is the argument of the Advaita Vedanta. So in that sense, what did we see? We saw that say right down to the human being. And then at the end, what we read today, Sahi Purushaha Vidyaya Antaratamam Brahma Sankramaitum. So some fortunate man, some seeker, he wants to know from where he has come, who am I, he starts questioning. And then from that question, he starts analyzing about his, say, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and then gets back to his roots. So that is what we are going to see. So this is where we have come to the end of this, this particular, Anuvaka. Now, of course, on this, there is a very big Vartikam by Sureshwaracharya. Sureshwaracharya has written about some Vartikam, again is about 20 pages. And on that, the commentary by Anandagiri also is very elaborate. I have not gone into all these things because it will make a very, very, very elaborate, very long, tedious reading. So I have skipped all that. We are now going to Dvitiyo Anuvakaha. Let us read the Dvitiyo Anuvakaha. Annadvai prajayante yah kasya prithivigam shritaha. I don't have notations in my book, so I am reading just like that. If you have notations, you can read. Atho annena iva jivanti. Okay, you need not overemphasize. Okay. Athainadapi yantyantataha. Athainadapi yantyantataha. Annagam hi bhutanam jyeshtham. Tasmaat sarvaushadhamuchyate. Sarvam vaite namapnuvanti. येऽन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते
येऽन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते
अन्नगं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम्
अन्नगं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम्
तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते
तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते
अन्नाद् भूतानि जायन्ते.
अन्नात् भूतानि जायन्ते.
Is there a double notation on annat? Okay, bhutani jatanyanneva annena vardhante
जातान्यन्नेन वर्धन्ते
adyatetti cha bhutani
अद्यतेत्ति च भूतानि
tasmadannam taduchyata iti.
तस्मादन्नं तदुच्यत इति.
We'll stop here. The mantra is still there. Tasmadvaye, tasmadan, annarasamaya, tanyoantaratma, vijnanamaya, pranamaya, etc. is there. That we'll read later. So now we have read half the thing. That is the description of this Annamaya Kosha. And the second portion tells about the next kosha which emerges from this. So that is what it is. So now we are going to see the description of this Annamaya Kosha, the importance of this Annamaya Kosha, because this Annamaya Kosha is something with which we are all in love. We fall in love with our body. We spend so many hours in front of the mirror. So, and the biggest industry in the world is about the Annamaya Kosha only. So that is what we have to see. So first I will simply explain the meaning of this mantra, and then we will get into the bhashya. Annadvai praja prajayante. Prajaha means all beings, whatever has taken birth. Whatever has taken birth. Ja means whatever has come into existence, whatever is born. All the beings means starting from all animals, everything. They are all born out of Annam only. Annadvai. Vai means indeed. All the beings are born from this Anna. Then Yah Kasya Prithivigam Shritaha. Whatever Yah Kasya. Annad Prajaha, Yah Kasya Prajaha. This Yah Kasya has to be connected to this Prajaha. Whatever exists, whatever living beings exist. Prithivim Shritaha. Prithivim Ashritya Sthitaha. Prithivim Ashritya. Those which are dependent on this Prithivi. Prithivigam Shritaha. All those which are dependent on this Prithivi are born of this Annam only. Then Atho Annena eva jivanti. Atho and then Annena eva jivanti. So their birth is from that, their existence, Srushti Sthiti, Annena eva jivanti. They live only because of this Annam. Athainad apiyantyantatah. Antataha means at the end. Antataha. You know the word antataha. Antato gatva you say. Antataha at the end. Atha yenat apiyanti. Apiyanti means they go towards this Annam. That means they resolve back into Annam. When a human being dies also, what happens to that? Suppose the Parsis, for example, they throw the bodies, human bodies, after a Parsi dies, there is what is called a Parsi tower of silence. In that tower of silence, they just go and throw the body there. So all the vultures, they come and eat the body. So that is their way of disposal. They think that is the greatest way, that is the most important, that is the most honorable way, because even after death, he is helping someone. His body is being eaten by some animal. So that is their concept. So like that, the body becomes the food. Atha yenad apiyanti antataha. Antataha antato gatva. At the end, it becomes that only. It becomes that. It resolves back into Annam. You are taking Annam and then growing, and then you live for some time, and then after the body dies, after the death, the body falls down, then it becomes food for something else. So that is it.
Even if they buried also, they become
naturally. Even if they are buried, it gets putrefied. Even if it is put in a sort of coffin also, naturally after some time it will disintegrate. Okay, Annagam hi bhutanam jyeshtham. That is bhutanam means we are not taking the panchabhutas here. We are not talking about the panchabhutas, prithvi, apastejo, etc. Bhutanam means jivanam. Among all the jiva, for all the jivas, not among, for all the jiva, bhutanam, jyeshtham. Jyeshtham is the oldest, the firstborn. Because Annam has come first and then only pranis. You see, Tasma, Akasha, Prithivya, Oshadhaya, Oshadhibhyo, Annam. Annat Purusha. So Annam has come first and then all these beings have come later. So which means Annam is Jyeshtham. Annam is earlier. Annam is something like the ancestor for all these beings. So Bhutanam Jyeshtham, because it is born earlier. Tasmat Sarvaushadham Uchyate. So it is called Sarvaushadham. For all beings it is Aushadham. Aushadham means it is something like a medicine. Aushadham is actually, that is a food actually. Aushadham is for all this, for this rogam called, for this disease called hunger. Annam is the Aushadham. For this disease called hunger, food is the medicine. So then, sarvam vaiteyannam apnuvanti. So, now he is telling about the phalam. Sarvam vaiteyannam apnuvanti ye annam brahmopasate. These two are connected. Ye annam brahma upasate. Those who worship annam as Brahma. What is this annam? Where, of course, we can tell, we can see right now. Annam means, you see, for the physical body, this Annamaya Kosha is the, for the individual, for the Vyashti, this human body is the Annamaya Kosha. Suppose you visualize at the cosmic level. At the cosmic level, what is the cosmic Sthula Deha? Cosmic gross body, what is the technical name for that? It is called Virat. We have come across this earlier in some other Bhashya. You see, just as this body, we are having a physical self, and then again there is a mind. So similarly at the universe level also, at the cosmic level also, we visualize a gross body, and we visualize the life force, that energy, and we also visualize the mind, the cosmic mind. So physical body level, it is called Virat, Virat Purusha. We also see that in what is this Purusha Suktam, Virat. Tasmad Virata Jayata, Virajo Adhipurusha, etc. etc. So that Virat is the physical body. Then what is the equivalent of this Prana, Prana Shakti? That is the energy body. That is called Sutratma. There is no physical body as such. It is a visualization at the cosmic level. Just as we are having all this, a visualization of the cosmic level is the cosmic body, the whole body is called Virat. And then the whole energy in the universe, the Prana Shakti, is called, that is Sutratma. Sutratma is responsible for the whole Prana Shakti in all the beings. Then at the mind level, cosmic mind, what do we call it? Hiranyagarbha. We know that we have come across it in several places. So the cosmic mind level, we call it Hiranyagarbha. So like that, we visualize at the cosmic level also. So now we are now talking about the Virat. Virat is the Samashti body. Samashti means the correct collective, the universal gross body. The universal or cosmic gross body is the Virat. And the Vyashti, that is the individual gross body, is we are all Vyashti Dehas. There are so many bodies, there are innumerable individual bodies. There is one cosmic body. So we are now talking about this Annam Brahmopasate, this cosmic Brahma, this cosmic gross body, that is Virat Purusha. So the people who do upasana of that Virat Purusha, they acquire the shape of that Virat Purusha. Acquire the shape in the sense, they go beyond their normal body and then they identify with that Virat Purusha, and because they become that Virat Purusha themselves, they have the happiness of having food from all, when all the beings eat, or what all other beings eat, this man also, he feels happy. So because you have identified yourself with the Virat Purusha, once you have identified yourself with that Virat Purusha, you are enjoying through the bodies of all the beings, through the bodies of all the beings. So for you, all beings are yourself only. So this is again a very, very subtle way of suggesting that, of telling how a person has to gradually grow beyond his body-mind complex, identify himself with the whole universe first, and then from that also he goes beyond, and then he identifies with the supreme consciousness. So that is the ultimate level. So anyway, ye Annam Brahma upasate, those who do worship of this Anna Brahma or Virat Purusha, Sarvam vai te annam apnuvanti. This is the phalam. This is the result of that sort of upasana. What is it? Sarvam annam te apnuvanti. That is, they attain the entire food in the whole universe. They attain the entire food in the whole universe. That is, he has ceased to identify himself with the body-mind complex. He is identifying with the gross body at the cosmic level. So, at the cosmic level, you are enjoying food through various mouths. You are enjoying food through various bodies. So, that is it. Then, annagam hi bhutanam jyeshtham. Again, this is repeated. Annam bhutanam jyeshtham. Why it is repeated, of course, Shankaracharya is going to explain. Then, tasmat sarvaushadham uchyate. This is again repeated. Annad bhutani jayante. That is, annat bhutani jayante. That is, the srushti sthiti laya. All the things, they take place in annam only. Bhutani means all the beings. Annat jayante. They are all born from anna. Jatani annena vardhante. Jatani bhutani. All the beings which are born. Annena eva vardhante. They grow only by annam. Then adyate atticha bhutani. Tasmad annam taduchyate. That is the definition of annam. Adyate atticha bhutani. Bhutaihi adyate. That is, it is eaten by all the beings. Then atticha bhutani atticha. It also eats. It also eats if I eat an ice cream, I am eating an ice cream. The ice cream also is eating me because it is making me to that extent debilitated, in the sense that slowly over a period of time the same digestive system and all that it slowly deteriorates and then it dies. Or we can take in another sense also, atticha bhutani. So this annam is eating various other beings. So, for example, this particular in some other bhashyam, I just saw adyate atticha bhutani. All these wild animals, where did I see? Adyate atticha bhutani. Anena utpatti sthitilaya karanam adyate atticha bhutani tasmadannam taduchyate iti. Anyway, adyate sarvaih pranibhihi jivanartham bhakshyate yadva sarvan pranina atti bhakshayati samharati ityannam. You see, this is Vidyaranya Bhashyam, where he says, adyate sarvaih pranibhihi jivanartham bhakshyate. But it is eaten by all. Yadva sarvan praninaha atti bhakshayati samharati ityannam. So it sarvan praninaha atti. It bhakshayati, it eats all beings. So that is why it is called annam. So it eats us and it is eaten by us. So that is what it is. So that is why it is called annam. Tasmad annam tad uchyate. Therefore it is called annam. So this is the general meaning of this mantra. Let us read the bhashyam. Annad rasadi bhava parinatat.
अन्नात् रसादि भाव परिणतात्
वा इति स्मरणार्थः प्रजाः स्थावर जंगमाः प्रजायन्ते ओके याः काश्च अविशिष्टाः पृथिवीं श्रिताः पृथिवीम् आश्रिताः ताः सर्वा अन्नादेव प्रजायन्ते. So this is what we read. Annat means rasadi bhava parinatat. From that, parinama is changing. Rasadi bhava parinatat means something which has modified into annam, which is modified into various types of essences in various forms. Rasadi bhava parinatat. In various forms it is modified. Annam is not in one form only. In so many forms it is available. Then va iti smaranarthaha. Va means why. Means indeed. That is to remind that it is indeed like that. So it is basically to remind you that it is anna, from annam only it is all this is happening. It is basically to smaranartha, to remind. Then prajaha, sthavara jangamaha. Sthavara jangama, here sthavara does not mean all the inanimate things. Sthavara means trees. Jangama means moving. All these vyashti sharira. Vyashti means the individual. Samashti is that cosmic thing. Vyashti is this individual. All these Vyashti bodies, the individual bodies, all this Sthavara Jangamaha, they are Prajayante. Then for this Sthavara, let me see whether there is any other meaning. For this Sthavara, Annadvai Prajayante. Sthavara. Yeah, this Vanamalakara writes, Sthavara iti Vyashti Annamaya Koshaha ityarthaha, he writes. That is the individual Annamaya Koshas. So for this Sthavara, there is no special meaning given as trees. Vyashti Annamaya Koshaha ityarthaha, he says. Then Yah Kascha Avishishtaha, without exception. Yah Kascha Avishishtaha, without any exception, all those which are existing. Yah Kascha, all those, whatever is existing. Avishishtaha, without any exception. Prithivim Shritaha, Prithivim Ashritya Sthitaha, those who are dependent on this Prithvi. Prithivim Ashritya, Ashritaha, those which are dependent on this Prithvi. Taha Sarvaha, all those, Annadeva Prajayante, all those are born from this Annam only. Atho api Jataha Annenaiva Jivanti Pranan Dharayanti Vardhante ityarthaha. This is that line. Atho Annenaiva Jivanti, that is that line. Atha here means api. Atha, normally what is the meaning of atha? Thereafter. So here atha means api. And also Jataha, all the beings which are born, Annenaiva Jivanti, Pranan Dharayanti. They keep alive. Pranan Dharayanti means they keep alive by virtue of this food, and then by virtue of this food only they grow. Vardhante, they grow also. Then Atha api Yenad Annam Apiyanti Apigachanti Apishabdaha Pratishabdarthe Annam Prati Praliyante ityarthaha. This is the third, next line. Atha Yenad Apiyantantataha. Atha Yenat Apiyanti Antataha. So that is the breaking. Atha means api. Api means and also. Atha api Yenat. Yenat means this one. This one means Annam. This means we are now referring to Annam only. Atha Yenad Apiyanti. Apiyanti means get back. Apigachanti. Apiyanti. Apigachanti. Apishabdaha Pratishabdarthe. Api means Prati. Pratigachanti. They go towards. They go towards, that means they become that. You see, you are growing. Annenaiva Vardhante. Enad Apiyanti means you are again going back to that. Going back to that means you are again becoming Annam. From Anna one is born and then grows for some time, and then again it moves back to Annam. That means again it gets transformed into Annam. Atha api Yenad. Yenad means Annam. Yenad means this. Yenad means this. This means Annam. We are now referring in the context of Annam. Apiyanti means Apigachanti. What is the meaning of api? Api shabdaha pratishabdarthe. Api means prati. Prati means towards. They move towards. That means they again get back. They again resolve back into Annam. That is it. Annam prati praliyante ityarthaha. They again gets resolved into say Annam. Because any karyam gets resolved in the karana. That is a general rule. Any karyam, any effect gets resolved in the cause. So the being also, all the living beings also, the cause is Annam. They get resolved into that. You take any being that dies, any jiva that dies, it again becomes the food for some other thing. Any jiva, even a snake, even a most poisonous things, whatever it is, they become food for some other jivas. Praliyante ityathaha. Antataha ante Jivalakshanaaya buddhehe parisamaptau. Sorry, vruddhehe, not buddhehe. Jivalakshanaaya vruddhehe parisamaptau. What is it? Not vrutte, vruddhi. Vruddhi means growing. Jivalakshanaaya vruddhehe. That is, what is the Jivalakshanam? Jivalakshanam is what is the essential property of a jivi? It is growing. So when that is parisamaptau, when that comes to an end, you see, the jiva is born and jiva lakshanam is it grows for some time. that is Jivalakshanayaha Vruddheha Parisamapta. When that comes to an end, then what happens to that? Antataha, ante. So this word antataha is explained here. Athainadapi antataha. Antataha means when it comes to an end. Antataha means Parisamaptau. When this whole body comes to an end, what happens? What is the meaning of end? When that growth stops, Jivalakshanayaha Vruddhehe Parisamaptau. When that thing Parisamapti, it is coming to an end. Kasmat Annam hi yasmat bhutanam Praninam Jyeshtham Prathamajam. Okay, why means Annam hi, because Annam hi yasmat Bhutanam Praninam Jyeshtham. This is the firstborn. Jyeshtham is Prathamaja. Prathamaja means firstborn. Prathama is first, Ja means born. Prathamajam. This is the firstborn. Then Annamayadinam hi Itaresham Bhutanam Karanam Itaresham Bhutanam Karanam Annam Ato Annaprabhavaha Annajivanaha Annapralayascha Sarve Prajaha. Sarvah Prajaha. All the beings, Sarvah Prajaha means all the beings, they are all Annaprabhavaha. They are born from Anna. Annaprabhava, Annajivana, they are all in Bahurihi. Annapralayaha. Annapralaya means Anne Pralayaha Yesham Te. Similarly, Annaprabhavaha means Anne Prabhavaha Yesham Te Annaprabhavaha. So like that. Anne Jivanam Yesham Te Annajivanaha. So like that. So Annaprabhavaha means they are all born from Anna. Anna Jivanaha, they live by Annam. And then Annapralayascha, they get back into Annam. They again get back into the form of food. All the beings are like that. So Annamayadinam hi Itaresham Bhutanam Karanam Annam. So for all the beings, Itaresham Bhutanam Karanam Annam. The Annam is the Karanam for all the beings. So that is why they are Annaprabhavaha, Annajivanaha. The Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, all the things are taking place in this thing only. Yasmacha evam Tasmat Sarvaushadham Sarvapraninam Deha Daha Prashamanam Annamuchyate. Yasmat evam Tasmat means because of this. Yasmad evam tasmat is a usual phrase which we see. Yasmad evam tasmat means because of this, because of what has been told earlier. Because of what has been told earlier. Now, Annam sarvaushadham, sarva praninam, for all the beings. Aushadham. Aushadham means the medicine, is something like a medicine. What? Why? Deha daha prashamanam annam uchyate. Deha daha prashamanam. Prashamanam means that which cools down. Daha means actually heat. Dahati, dahadhatu. What is the meaning of dahati? Heat. Burning. What is the burning which is there inside? That is the hunger. Deha daha, here it means hunger. So deha daha is daha iti jathara kruta kshuddhaha, says this Vanamala. Tat prashamakam ityartha jathara kruta kshuddhaha. So in this jathara means our stomach. Jataragni, it is called fire. It is the fire called Jataragni. So in this fire you are putting so much of food. So in this fire all these things, it is something like an ahuti in a yajna. Eating also is a yajna. We have discussed in some other context. So in this, for all these beings, deha daha prashamanam. So that is the burning which is inside the stomach, which is otherwise called hunger. So that hunger is satiated, that hunger is cooled down by that fire called hunger. That fire called hunger is cooled down by this food which is supplied by the human being. So that is the point. Sarva praninam deha daha prashamanam annam uchyate. So Anna Brahmavidaha, we will start in the next class. Anna Brahmavidaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.